I was reminded the other day that it has been 25 years since John Rhino Edwards released his first solo album, Rhino's Revenge, released on Eagle Records in 2000, featuring a front cover here with a figure, sort of silhouette of Rhino in the middle, and then this sort of bright sun. I always tried to figure out what it was. It's, I don't know, like smoke or a sun. It's a really cool front cover, really stands out. And some of them came with a sticker that said, debut album from Status Quo's bassist. I first got this album physically about 5 years ago. I bought it from a second-hand place quite cheaply. Did you buy this when it came out, and were you excited to hear it? I had heard it beforehand because tracks kind of come out over the years, and it did finally land on streaming, I think about 10 years ago. Now, if you don't know this album, it is, as I say, Rhino's Revenge, his first solo album, but it features a lot of special guests on it. It's Rhino, produced by Mike Paxman, and they play instruments on it. And then we have special guest appearances from future Quo drummer Matt Letley. Charlie Morgan also lends drums to it. Judie Tzuke does backing vocals on a track. Francis Rossi does solo and rhythm guitar on one track. Andy Bown is on at least one track from memory. Steve Bird, BYRD, lends some guitars to a couple of tracks here and there. And even Rick Parfitt makes an appearance on the opening track, Jungle Love, playing rhythm on that. So it's absolutely chock-a-block, full of faces. And there are more names in there. Those are just a few that I wanted to point out here. Rhino previously worked with Judie Tzuke back in the early 80s before joining Quo. And so did Mike Paxman, actually. So, Jungle Love opens it. Then we have Spacemaker, Shame, Don't Come Around Here No More, Republican, Two Sons, The Strange One, Spend, 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 Rocker, Mine All Mine, and Get a Life. Even if you haven't heard some of the tracks on this album, you'll know it from live performances. Tracks like Mine All Mine and The Republican have been performed live, and I feel like so has Spend, 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 maybe Spacemaker as well. Now, he did get a band together and performed tracks from this album about 25 years ago, and he's since gone on to do stuff with other musicians under the name Rhino's Revenge. I'm going to do a more kind of in-depth review of this album, hopefully alongside a guest at some point, but I just want to give my few opinions on it because I listened to this in full, possibly for the first time the other day, and what struck me was, there are tracks on there that are very Quo-styled. I mean, he is, a guy who at that point had been in the band for around 15 years, and so maybe a few of these songs were submitted to Quo at some point, and so that kind of fits. But Rhino's songwriting, in my opinion, it kind of has, there's lots of different facets to it. You've got sort of the eccentric side. Sometimes it's kind of social issues or slightly political, and sometimes he's very kind of tongue-in-cheek with it. I mean, things like Spend, Spend, Spend. The way that he sings it, I know not everybody is a fan of his voice, but I think it works for this material. And when you've got things like Rocker and The Strange One, Jungle Love, it works. Two Sons was an interesting one because it's kind of a smooth, kind of much gentler track, and it doesn't really do anything. It's kind of this little filler in the middle, but it's kind of nice at the same time. It has this thing about it where you've had the Republican where it's kind of sing along and like saying something, and then it goes into the strange one after Two Sons. And so you've got this thing in the middle that just gives you a bit of respite, which is really cool. Don't Come Around Here No More. One thing I noted about that was it reminded me very much of sort of the indie rock section of sort of the late 90s, mid to late 90s, sort of the end of Britpop, if you will. That's what it reminded me of. And I guess some of these tracks have that to it. Those are just a few of my opinions. I actually really liked it. And there's a few tracks that I shall add to a playlist. I might even listen to it in full at some point once more. But yeah, it's really surprising. It took 15 years to release another one, Rhino's Revenge 2, which I shall talk about at another point. And I was under the impression that number 2 was a little bit stronger when I first heard it. But actually, after reevaluation, I think this has got a lot of really interesting ideas on it. And it's just nice to hear Rhino trying something with special guests, produced by Mike Paxman, who at that point was kind of Quo's resident producer. He was, he did Under the Influence and then into Heavy Traffic by way of Famous in the Last Century, which came out the same year as this album. So tell me, what do you think of the first Rhino's Revenge album? Do you enjoy it? Is it an album that you put on from time to time? Have you maybe played it once and never played it again? Do you like some of the biting lyrics that are in there, some of the heavy riffs? Are you a rocker also? Let me know all your thoughts on Rhino's Revenge in the comments below, and I'll see you again for another episode of the Quo-Cast.